through a bit of the schedule for the team this week.
Yeah, those that are playing the Waffle are still training. They'll train fully tomorrow, about 15 or 16. The rest of we completed the reviews and they had a collective bargaining agreement, went into the schools visits yesterday, and so they'll it's their own time until Monday.
Is there any of the senior players that might do some extra work at all?
Oh no, there's those 16, those in rehab, and those that have been playing regular senior footy have again they're off Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So yeah, no big brother watching either.
What about yourself? Do you have a break at all?
The coaches will go through to definitely the line coaches to 12 o'clock on Thursday. So the coaches have the weekend off there. But myself, the development team's still going, and Peel plays Fremantle on Saturday, which is just around the corner from home, so that's nice. And so I'll go down and wander down and watch that. So yeah, a little bit, it's a bit of a mental freshener for everybody without the preparation for, you know, an AFL opposition, which is, it's a nice relief. So for our players, to sum it up, it's a mental break, but physically they need to keep going. So just deloads them a little bit. You know, it's been a grind and it's gone quickly. We've worked hard to put ourselves in a decent position, but you know, as I said yesterday, there's a strong lessons from last year. Essendon were 10-0, much hyped, and ran into some injury in form and ultimately missed the finals. So we understand, you know, we're only 6 points clear of 8th, and you know, there's a lot of hype, negativity about West Coast. The bottom line is they're 5-5 and season's still well and truly alive for them as well. So yeah, we want to continue to write our own story by working hard and having strong preparation and really staying in the moment as much as we can. We understand, yeah, our members and fan base are really pleased with how we're going at the minute as we are, but it's such a fragile existence. You know, history tells you if you start talking about future results, you fall in a heap pretty quickly. So again, our leaders and players and coaches want to stay in the moment, work really hard, take this break and prepare for Brisbane as we would any other opposition with high intensity and focus. And you know, always our next training session or our next meeting is the most important thing at that time.
How much improvement can you make in the second half of the year, and what are the areas
Yeah.
you need to improve?
Well, I think significantly we do need to improve. We've got plenty of improvement in contested ball. Clearance work in particular has been inconsistent. Our work to get the ball back's been strong and generally scoring off turnovers. So our clearance work was what was strong on the weekend. So, but then the main things improve the offence as well, and obviously, you know, the obvious elephants in the room. You know, Matthew Pavlich, Aaron Sandilands and Michael Walters are the most obvious guys on the way back from rehab. So to preempt the question, they're at end stage rehab. They're progressing really well. Probably unlikely for Brisbane, but then from there it'll start to heat up. And obviously, as they hit milestones, and you know, Michael would be more likely to come straight back in, but we'll be guided by Matthew and Aaron in particular as to where they think they're at. You know, particularly Matthew, where are you at? What do you think you're capable of? Because he knows over a long period. We all know he's been a great player, and if he was to say to me, you know, I think I can come in and contribute straight away, he would play straight away. If he said, I think I can do it off the back of a big training block, just hold me back a little bit, we would go that path. But if he thought he was ready to play, but he needed to play some footy and not ready, well then we would consider the Waffle. So, you know, but at this stage, until they get through, you know, they've had little hiccups, particularly Aaron and Matthew all the way along. So I can't stand here and give you a definitive answer on the time frame or where they will come back ultimately, because you know they've had setbacks along the way that's really even disrupted my line of thinking. So well, we've got a bit of work to do yet there.
You wouldn't have any concerns about playing those type of players in the Waffle? I know in the past coaches have said there's almost some players that are off limits.
Yeah, as I said, it's not definitive, but if you drill down to that option, you know, Luke Hodge, you know, come back through. I think Kerr might have. The game's change, it's high intensity, and I think once you're looking at 10 or 12 weeks out, it's a real option.
And Anthony is listed as 2 weeks, so is that how far
Yeah.
he could be playing to Waffle as well?
So Anthony
Morabito.
Morabito? Yeah, look, as I said, I'm a little bit uncomfortable talking to Anthony, and we understand the interest, but I think we're giving a fair bit of update there, and I think you need to show a little bit of patience. I think everyone's respected his privacy. I think we need to continue to do that. His training, you know, I think you can appreciate what he's been through. That we can't give you a 2-week time frame. We can't tell you. So he's still got plenty of milestones to jump over. So I think we all cool our jets a little bit and give him time to grow. And when he's ready, I think he's been pretty good at updating. Luke, is that something we're going to do? Is Anthony going to speak?
Some stage, yeah.
Yeah, so at the right time he'll speak. And we're keen to do it because I don't want to speak for Anthony. I don't want to control the agenda. So Anthony controls the agenda, but he's got plenty of milestones. I think we all cool our jets on him coming back a little bit. I think you can have some understanding of how big a milestone it will be. He's been through 3 reconstructions. I don't think you train for 4 weeks and go, he's back in 2. It doesn't work like that.
You mentioned the hype before, and Freo's been talked about as flag favourites in the last few days. Is it something that concerns you, your players being exposed?
No, because
to
it's
that?
irrelevant. It's irrelevant to me. That's not my job. It's never as good, it's never as bad as fans, members or media think. So that's the reality of it. We all know that, you know. So, and the story changes from week to week. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. We get it. We like the fact it's a positive story at the moment, but it's certainly irrelevant to how we go about it. We've been unaffected by negativity and unaffected by positive articles because all they are opinion pieces, and you know, that's fine, but all it does is stimulate us to understand, well, what do we need to do? We need to prepare hard.
What about yourself personally, Ross? I mean, there's been huge hype around you and your coaching from inside, your players, critics, everything. Those accolades, it doesn't seem like they really sit comfortably with you? Is that...
Oh, because they really are irrelevant. They don't mean anything to me. You know, I don't feel I need to be vindicated or validated by outside sources. I understand the pressure builds, and if you get a lot of L's next to your name, you tend to go out the door. So ultimately, it's a results-orientated business, and but again, the best way I can deal with those things is help the team to grow and earn the trust of my players. So that's my real focus. And but I suppose the longer you're in it, you understand that it shifts pretty quickly. So it's probably experience, really, not to maybe as a young coach you might think, gee, that's nice, but I think you get a little bit an understanding of what it's all about, and don't take it. As I said, it's never as good and never as bad. So I think if you try and stay steady, you can keep focused at the job at hand. You know.
Ross, the forward structure, you've had a few weeks to sort of play with that a little bit with Pavlich going down. Are you fairly comfortable with what works best now, or does it depend on the week?
Not really, because what we put in there has disappeared as well. You know, John Griffin was down there, he disappeared. Kepler Bradley disappeared through injury. And then conditions. So yeah, we've still got plenty of work to do. It's not exactly where we'd like. You know, we're still trying to settle the lineup a little bit. We've had weekly challenges, I suppose, but fortunately the game allows you to find a way. You know, if you work really hard. So yeah, as I said, offensively we would still like to improve. You know, consistently.
Any chance that Jack Clark might play this weekend, given that he had the long?
No, he won't. No chance. I think he's on the big bird already to Melbourne to give Mum a cuddle. You know. So.